go way back. Some Cine 8 and Betamax.
The venerable VHS video. Okay. But yeah, there we go. That's a VHS tape. I know of various people who have no idea what that looks like, what one of those would look like. The development of Laserdisc actually predates the VHS by a big chunk.
Massively. It was 58 or 59, something like that.
Which is video CDs. Now it says CDI on it, but it's actually what we called a video CD. Digital versatile disc, or digital video disc if you ask different people. Now DVD.
Now you see, I will defend UMDs. I thought UMDs were a damn good idea. HD DVD. The Xbox had the separate HD DVD player.
Yes. Let's bring in Blu-ray. 4 gig stick, and it had the film in DivX form.
And we're out really quick.
Any digital memory card is going to be a certain number of writes and reads. There's nothing you can do about that. Whereas discs, the number of reads is down to the photon wear on disc.
I refuse digital download. It's not happening. I want the physical item.
Exactly. Mainstream has gone from VHS to DVD, probably to download. You automatically, because the colour reproduction is so much richer, the resolution is better. A massive upsurge in steelbooks. So we're back, and we have an array of Blu-rays and a couple of DVD box sets for reference. Now, as we said earlier, the collector's market kind of went from Laserdisc to DVD for a while until Blu-ray came out. Because the collectors is very much going to be wanting the best version they can get, aren't they? Let's be honest. Now, if you want to talk us through those 2 DVD box sets we've got there, because they're very special.
No. These could quite easily be Blu-ray box sets. Okay, it's quite literally just the disc.
Yeah, exactly.
The Alien 25th anniversary, which is, as design concepts for a box go, amazing. Yeah. Heavy as hell, but amazing. It's not to scale, which is kind of disappointing because when the reviews of this came out, they said, it's to scale!
No, it's about half.
I pre-ordered the darn thing going, to scale? Hell yes, I want an alien head. And then it came out, I was like,
did it not occur to you, looking at the pictures, that if it was to scale, the disc inside would be the size of
no,
the discs?
because the discs, the art, they cheated for the art.
No,
now this is beautiful, because look, see, clear, with dark paint here, dark paint here.
Reminds me of the model
They didn't. It was painted black. On the pre-release, it was, so all this was shiny black. So you didn't know that this. So this is the removal part, and then just nice little lined but screwed in. Really, I mean, as incredibly well designed as a case. As a collector's item, it would have been better if it was to scale, but as just a piece to own.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's lovely.
I must admit, the first thing that came to mind when you took the head off was, the top of the head off was, are those discs safe enough in there?
Yeah, they are really solid in there.
Okay.
But I say really solid. Run your finger across the inside piece just there. Let me take a disc out.
Oh right, so yeah.
It's not velvet, but it feels velvet.
But it's not going to scratch the discs.
No, not at all. They're well locked in there. Yeah. They're really well displayed. It's really easy to see which disc it is you want. Very heavy. Really kind of cool. If you've got the space for it, a lovely thing. One of the first things my wife, who is, as we both know, not a geek, said to me is, what the bloody hell is that thing? Why is it there? Can't it be moved? And now it sits pretty much out of the way. It's not like I view the discs very often. I already owned all of these films on DVD. I bought the box I have all the content. I've got all the video content that was there. I bought the box, and then annoying. Even if you were going to argue about the video content, they released the bleeding video content in a smaller box.
Yeah.
Which is, funnily enough, the one I already had.
Yeah.
So it's purely as a packaging point, it is lovely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the thing is, they've already released this box set as a box set. So it was a case of you could buy it on DVD, or you could buy the big DVD box set. Depending on what you wanted to do for the pre-order. So just a packaging change. Now this one is different. This one I absolutely love. Good old Dr. Zayas is a good one.
Dr. Zayas.
Again, this could be Blu-ray, but it obviously isn't. They put this in the back. Okay, which is a good way of doing it. Very similar to how they did the Sunny head. Yeah. Okay, but what they did for this box set, which is just of all the DVD box sets I own, and of all the concepts they've ever came out with, this is by far my favourite, and I'll tell you why it's my favourite in a moment. Numbered box set as well on the outer sleeve.
It's a digipack.
Right. Okay, yes, the packaging is nothing particularly great, okay? But they never released this in any, like the Alien head they released in a smaller box. They didn't do that with this. Right. This is Planet of the Apes, all the films.
Yeah.
The TV series.
Yeah.
And then, just to kick people in the nuts, the animated series.
The animated series is in it.
The animated series is in it. So this is, other than...
So this is, right, everything in the original Planet of the Apes universe.
Yeah, everything in the original universe before the first reboot, and obviously the second reboot. Now I have to say, I was all for the universe being rebooted. I really was. It's worked really well in comic form. I was very excited, especially when I heard who the director was going to be. Oh God, was I disappointed.
Yes.
So I was really glad when they did the second reboot.
Which was a fantastic film.
Now, the thing is, if you're not a fan of the early days of science fiction, these films will not appear. You're just not going to like it. 12 minutes of a guy walking through a desert.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. The same as Star Trek, the slow motion. The motion picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten the exact amount of time. It just feels like forever of all the glory shots of the Enterprise. Yeah. It's that kind of thing.
It's the kind of thing you just cannot get away with in a film now.
But the great thing is, most people just look at this along with my Planet of the Apes action figures, the 12-inch dolls, and they think it's a statue. They don't think it might help if I actually put this thing back on. They don't realise it's a DVD case, which I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because people don't really ask about it. They go, oh, he's got a monkey head. They don't go, that might be something a little bit more interesting.
It's an ape!
The thing is, I like the fact that they really did put the complete thing on here. I mean, you've got the film from 68 upwards. Actually, you know what it says on the back? Planet of the Apes, Beneath Planet of the Apes, Escape from Planet of the Apes, Conquest of Planet of the Apes, Battle for Planet of the Apes. Then you've got documentary on this one, which is behind. Then you've got the TV series.
And the animated series.
Oh, I lied. 2001 Planet of the Apes.
Really?
Film and special features. I didn't realise that.
You just blotted it out of your memory, I can't believe it.
The first reboot is on here. Remind me to throw that disc away at some stage. It was up until the new reboot complete. I just thought that was nice.
Now the thing is, I've noticed recently is this type of thing doesn't happen anymore.
No, they've stopped doing it.
Don't do this.
Although, to be fair, Star Trek 2009 reboot on Blu-ray.
Got that, yeah.
Well,
that's a completely
correction.
different.
We didn't get it over here.
No,
the Americans got it and the Japanese got it.
But that's a completely different ballpark because that's not a box set as such, that's just the one film.
That's just a one-off, yeah.
Now, the one thing I've noticed of late, I don't know if you've seen them, there have been box sets for Doctor Who Regenerations,
Yes.
which is every Regeneration episode, and they've done one for Bond recently, which is all of the Bond movies prior to Skyfall for the 50th anniversary.
This style of box.
It doesn't happen.
Actually, do you know what one of the most disappointing Blu-ray things ever? It's totally gutting. I know you're not a fan of the series, and that's fine. Farscape.
Yeah.
Now, I got this box set, which you've got to love. You are holding the entire series in one-handed, the whole series. Yeah. I remember when you could hold a season in one hand. So
quite.
Blu-rays are impressive. They were meant to do. The artwork is available online for it. Moya, which is the ship.
Yeah.
They were going to do Moya as the Blu-ray box set, and you opened it up and the discs were in there.
Yeah. But because of the state of
Didn't
everybody's financial markets these
just-
days, ever since 2007, 2008, that kind of thing just isn't going to happen.
Just didn't happen.
So, for instance, with this Regeneration box set and the Bond box set, they take the form of a book that the discs can fall straight out of. Which is just,
really?
it's a book, yeah. You basically
It's an actual book.
Yeah, you slip the discs into little pockets in the book, and it's just
See, there's only one book. There's only one disc that they should ever do in a book format. The Necronomicon. Okay, Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay, it was great. They did latex cover, so it felt like skin. You flipped it open, pages, but solid back. On the back was a solid plastic tray that had the disc in, so it couldn't flop out.
Oh, well, that's
so what did they do with these? Just literally
well, from what
plastic
I refuse to buy them. I refuse to go anywhere near them. It's literally cardboard pages, and the discs fit into sort of like sleevey things, from what I can see.
Oh no, because you know what happens over time. The disc will wedge through the thing.
It's just nasty and horrible, and that is not how you do a collectible set of media. You just no, it's ridiculous. They're even doing something similar for Doctor Who. They're doing I believe it's the 7th season complete box set. So the first 2 halves of the season, there's 2 different Christmas specials in there, and the BBC Online Shop Special Edition, instead of being a steelbook or something sensible, is this TARDIS thing that opens up and they're like folded in. And you just,
I don't know, TARDIS thing with that
with the
makes
disc
sense.
just stuck in like this on the 2 sides of it.
What, like the alien head?
No, in a cardboard thing.
Well, maybe they won't do it in a cardboard thing. Maybe
No,
they'll actually do it in a
cardboard.
decent. Yeah, it's
like,
going to be cardboard.
It's awful. It's just not good.
Oh, I owe you apparently I owe you 2 points. And that's why you shouldn't be a fan of pod gaming. Go on.
So what we'll do?
Tap gaming.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So what we'll do, have a quick look at now, is basically we've come to the conclusion that Blu-ray is definitely the collectible format now for media. I think that goes without saying. But there's a myriad of ways that Blu-rays can end up in your hands.
Yeah, see, this is where me and you tend to disagree when it comes to Blu-rays. I mean, for instance, you have a massive selection here, and they are varying degrees of gorgeous.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have to remind me what the names are. For instance, obviously, this one is in... No, I was going to say this one is embossed, but it's not. It's...
Debossed.
Debossed, because it's the other way. And that's nice. It's simple. Catches your attention.
Yeah.
The artwork is nice. Bit too fingerprinty for my taste. Yeah, I'm going to spend forever polishing the darn thing. But it's nice.
Yeah.
Steelbook.
It's a steelbook, yeah.
Standard. Yeah.
3 discs in there.
Yeah, 3 discs.
In a slim,
Yeah,
normal,
it's one of
standard size steelbook.
Yeah, standard size steelbook.
Yeah.
Again, it's exactly what you expect it to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, we'll come back to the steelbooks again in a minute, and we'll go through all the different ways steelbooks can come. Well, let's have a look at the different ways that normal DVD packaging is. Now, the standard DVD packaging is the Amaray, okay, which looks like this on the outside. Just your standard Blu-ray packaging. This one's actually a bit secretive inside because it's multiple disc.
Yeah, but you don't know that from the outside.
You don't know that from the outside.
Which is one of the big strong points for me.
Yeah.
Because you can, again, as I raved with that, you're holding the whole series in your hand.
I mean, that's the entire season 10 of Smallville.
Yeah, you've got to love that.
That's
You know,
cool.
on DVD, it's ridiculous.
Now, box sets for Blu-rays come in various shapes and sizes. I mean, we mentioned your Farscape one, which is actually a jumbo Amaray case times 4.
Yeah, in a slip cover. But slip box.
Yeah, which is basically the same as this 6th season of Doctor Who.
But they're doing a lot of these with the seasons now. Yeah, and the thing is, they stack up. They do a slimline version of this as the jumbo. I love that. It's jumbo, but we do a slimline version of the jumbo.
Yeah,
which
so that's basically what that is. So essentially, you've got you as long as I think you maximum of 4 discs in this size and maximum of 6 or 7 in that one. So that's fair enough. But then you've got the special collectors boxes they try and do. Now this is all of the Next Generation Star Trek feature films and the Evolution, which is an interesting little bit of behind the scenes stuff, where you basically you get the films and the bonus disc in these ridiculously slim Blu-ray cases.
Too slim.
They're too slim. They're that's all the space it's got them for. That's why they're not used for individual releases, because that would just be ridiculous.
Oh, you know what? It would be ridiculous, but on the other hand, kind of wouldn't as well.
Yeah. Makes sense.
To me, that for a standard edition is more appealing.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I had to do it a few years ago in my DVDs. I went and bought the giant folder that could fit 1,000, and I had to strip down my DVDs. I kept all my the good stuff, the stuff I really liked. I kept, but the bulk of films, because I never throw away films. I know a lot of people, cash converters, eBay, whatever, but I don't, because people hit me up for films a lot.
Yeah.
So, I keep them all. But I had to go, this is ridiculous. It's a wall in my house dedicated to... So I stripped them down. I had some films on those cases that, in all honesty, should have been in the folder, but I went, that takes up such little room, it doesn't matter. So I left them.
Exactly. And then with Blu-ray, you've actually got an in-between one, which is this size, which is a little bit thinner than the standard Amarays, but it's about double the size of these very thin ones. One of the interesting things about this illustrates one massive point. This is a very, very rare Blu-ray. It's actually the 1986 original Transformers film, the animated one.
Okay, what makes that one rare?
It was pressed in such small numbers and is a UK exclusive.
Oh, okay.
Since then, they have done a different version of the film in Australia on Blu-ray. But this is quite a massive point for me, is the fact that this I took to a couple of conventions, and it's got signatures of 2 of the members of the voice acting cast for the film. Try doing that with a download.
But you see, there you go. You can't. It's the whole point of having something that's actually tangible. You can hold it. Yeah, I mean, digital downloads all well and good, and again, my arguments on the whole concept of it. I like to be able to hold it. Apart from anything else, when somebody goes, "Excuse me, I want £10 of your money, please."
Yeah.
I would like to be able to hold something.
Yeah, and the fact that you've got and when you do that, it wants to be something. It's not only tangible, actually feels value for money in a way.
Yeah, somebody hands me a piece of paper with a code on it saying, "Woohoo! Here's your film." That's not my film.
Now, the plastic cases are well and good, but again, kind of like DVDs, they feel, mass produced, don't they? To a certain
of course.
degree. So for certain box sets, especially, they try doing something else. Now you've got this, haven't you? Which is basically one of those.
See, that's the original. I've got the second release, because at the time when they released it on Blu-ray, there was talk of a really nice collector's box set, but they couldn't say what it was. But the rumours were Mattel had given up hadn't given up rights, but they were going to produce the hoverboard.
Oh, right.
And people were talking about the hoverboard, and people were talking about a Spectral Collector's version of the Blu-ray, and in my head I was like, if they do the hoverboard as the case,
that would be cool.
So I kept back, and then nothing ever happened.
Again, because the markets went down. So
I bought the second gen, and I knew the difference between the first gen and the second gen. And to tell you the truth, I didn't care.
No,
I liked the film, enjoyable film.
Yeah.
I was, as a collector.
No.
This if they'd come up with a board or something really great, yes, but cardboard with the plastic over the plastic.
No, doesn't make sense, does it? Then this was actually available with a steel tin around it at one point, but there was no proper steel book, and the steel tin was cheap and nasty.
Those flimsy there.
Superman.
If you dent it when you pick it up, it's not worth
it. This is a collection of all of the Superman movies, and I do mean all of the Superman movies, including the black and white ones, going back from. It's actually got the Fleischer cartoons in it as well. Then why the hell did you get this cheap ass packaging? It's actually been re-released since in one of these plastic cases again.
What was the retail?
Retail price on this was £60.
Yeah, why did you get the cheap box, dude?
Yeah, this is the thing, is that...
Oh, at least it's the thicker plastic.
It's the thicker plastic, but
it's
like taking the discs out.
You know what I was about to say? You know what the problem with these boxes are? That...
Yeah.
These are, I mean, we've discussed the quality difference for Blu-rays is very good, but still, you've got to wonder how many people have broken.
Yeah.
You can't break one, but you break the box.
And the thing is, if this had been a DVD box set, you'd have scratched your discs.
Oh, you'd have scratched the discs, yeah.
So you're just thinking...
The artwork's nice.
The artwork's nice, it's nicely produced in a way, but it's still flimsy. It's not as flimsy as this, but it's flimsy. Mm. Now, that's bad enough.
Yeah.
But then the real insult is this. Now, do you remember the amount of fuss that was made by Lucasfilm over this?
Oh yeah, the Star Wars one. Now, you see, the thing is, I, as you know, love lightsabers.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the franchise, but I absolutely hate to see any group of fans, with the exception of certain anime. But for the majority of it, I hate to see fans having the out of them. And that is a slap in the face.
That is a slap in the face. Now, there's nothing wrong with the discs inside.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the fact that it's the messed with versions.
Okay, alright, we'll ignore... Let's ignore the versions of the discs.
Yeah.
Right? Because, let's face it, kind of irrelative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, bearing in mind, this was RRPing at between £90 and £100.
£100 for... what? No.
No.
I mean, this is the same packaging they did for Star Trek Voyager in America, except they did these little tiny thin plastic things. They did these in multiple colours, which I have to say I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy them because
you can see this breaking.
It's terrible. It's
I mean, this is the thing. What you're looking at here is a stack of thin, reasonably rigid, mind you, but thin trays.
Plastic trays.
And they're held together by essentially a piece of tape.
Yeah.
The booklet's nice enough, not hard back, it's just soft back, so it loses points there.
That could come in a standard DVD case.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just cheap and nasty. Now in here you've got the 3 prequel movies, so ignore those. You've got the 3 original movies, which are admittedly...
How messed with are those versions?
Oh, these have been messed with and then messed with again.
Oh, the triple mess.
They took the special edition and messed with it again. And then you've got the extras discs.
You know, there's a campaign in America, and at some point I've been meaning to join it. It's save films from their directors. So they can't mess
Don't go back and mess with it.
Don't go back and mess with it.
Star Trek motion picture worked though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But interestingly, since this was released, this is now can be more than £100 in certain retailers.
Yeah, but it's disgusting.
It's disgusting for what it is. It's that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. If you want the complete saga,
yeah,
which is what they were raving about, it's everything, it's all in one, blah blah blah.
Where's the holiday special?
But yeah, where's the holiday special? But also, it's just, where's your value for money? That is not £100.
No,
I'm sorry.
There's no way that's not £100.
That is really
not
bad.
Any day of the week. But the annoying thing
That's
is...
That's a £40 box, sir.
Yeah. The annoying thing is that since that came out, they've released each set of films in steelbooks. But they're the normal size steelbooks.
Yeah.
So you've got the 3 films in there, but you don't get the extras.
Yeah. Well,
Which
you know
is
that's... Yeah, but what did we say when we were talking about Star Trek Into Darkness?
Yeah.
It's content. They're making the money on the content these days.
So yeah, I mean these cardboard things. I'm sorry, they're just not good enough.
No.
I do hope.
Not for what is superior.
People. Yeah, this is a superior format, and you're giving me in a cardboard box. What the actual frack? I would actually prefer that to those, because at least I know the discs are safer in there.
You know what? You're gonna hate what I have to say about it. Do you know the one thing? Because I own a few different series that are on these.
Yeah.
And I do something that no collector should do.
Yeah.
I bin these.
Ooh.
I bin the cardboard covers. They annoy me. Apart from anything else, it's a silly piece of packaging.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
completely redundant. You're not protecting the disc.
No.
The box is a standard box,
Exactly.
so you're not protecting the box.
There is
I mean, this one, it really takes the mickey because it's got the metallic sheen, which means, oh, they paid more money for that. It's debossed. Yeah. They paid more to do that. Does it actually contain any? Oh, okay, yeah, it contains information that isn't on the back.
Yeah.
They could have just done that.
That's one of the things that makes that almost worthwhile, is the fact they've actually got artwork underneath on the inside box. But
and their eyes look really.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But that's that's kind of fair enough. I mean,
yeah,
it probably means that later editions didn't have the slip over the edge.
I took these slip covers off my Blu-rays in the pile, so that I could slip them out without, because I was damaging the boxes, and it just became pointless
exercise. Interestingly, they didn't do a steelbook version of season 6, but they did do for the 5th. The only problem was that they put too much of a price premium on the steelbook version over the standard one, so it didn't sell as well as it should have done.
What was in the steelbook version?
Of course, you can't get them now. Yeah. And it's basically it's the standard version of the. It's exactly the same contents as you would have got in the.
Just better box.
Yeah, it's just in the better box. But having said that, you did get some postcards, which are okay. They're not fantastic postcards, but they're interesting, sort of like concept artwork kind of thing.
Yeah.
They did make a massive boo-boo with this. Now,
was?
let's have a look at it compared with another jumbo steelbook. Let's have a look at The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Okay. First thing you'll notice is the age rating on it.
Yeah.
It's actually on the case.
It's painted on.
It's painted on the case. Blu-ray logo painted on the case. On this, they were on the J card.
Yeah.
J card.
That's the whole point of having J cards.
J card. Fair enough. You've got that image, which is a
cracking time
universe
thing.
Look at the back. How ugly is that?
That's not pretty.
People tore into this. You do not need a list. A collector's item does not need the list of the actual episodes on the actual steelbook. On the J card for retail, fair enough, but what the hell?
Okay.
There's a booklet inside.
The argument, right. I can give you a very good argument for this. Okay? A bit plastic. Right. No J card. No exterior packaging needed. No emboss. Oh no, that is. Actually, the crack is. Alright, okay. My apologies. Should have checked that bit further. But it doesn't look embossed on there. Okay? If that was the standard price of a plastic one, my argument would be, that's the packaging. No paper. Nothing to get torn. Nothing to get damaged. It's all there as long as you don't scratch it. That would be a marvellous piece of packaging if that was all it was.
Do you know what they did though? That shipped out with the postcards on the back and a J card on it. What a waste of time.
Yeah. What did the J card say? Please look at the back of the
J card was the same as this.
Did you? Did they just release it straight copy?
Why didn't they just leave the design on it? It's just ridiculous. Total lack of thought. Really got to think better about it. And they wondered why it didn't sell out immediately. The funny thing is now, is that so few of the collectors bought it when it came out, and it ended up in the hands of people who didn't really monkey with monkeys. The value of this has gone through the roof.
Yeah, because they've got. Yeah.
It's typical, isn't it?
It is.
So that's a jumbo steelbook.
But that is one of the problems with being a collector. I spend more of my life looking for misprints, errors, some paint jobs, and things where the arm was stuck on backwards than I do just appreciating what the proper thing looked like. It's kind of sad.
But let's have a quick look at these for a moment, because these are both what we call a jumbo steelbook, because there's two different types of steelbook which have then subtypes. You've got the standard steelbook, which is what all of these are, and then you have the jumbo steelbook. Standard steelbooks can go up to 4 discs. I'll show you one of those in a second, and the jumbo steelbooks can go up to 6 discs. Okay, so this has basically got a tray inside with a plastic tray with the discs in.
Now you see, I like those, and I'll tell you why I like them. Okay, design it works, but unlike the Star Wars one, which it's held together by a piece of tape. If you break one of those interior bits, you can replace it with pretty much the same one. Maybe not quite, but good enough. Where those, real bugger to replace. And let's face it, you and I both know how many times you loan these out and they'll come back and they'll have teeth missing. Yeah,
exactly. But have a look at those for a moment. That's a nice plain back that had a J card on it.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's any artwork on, but it's a limited edition number as well. This is an interesting one as well, because you've got, I've actually rearranged it slightly because you've got the Blu-rays and the DVDs in there. And
the digital download.
Which is quite cool. Now,
I must admit, I like it when they charge a couple of extra quid under that whole triple play thing, double play.
Makes sense.
I thought my favourite one, I don't know if you know this, for the last Muppets film, they did a fantastic steelbook. It was the digital download, the Blu-ray, the DVD, and the soundtrack all in one box.
Cool.
Fantastic.
That makes sense. With this though, I had a bit of a problem.
Why?
I ordered it from HMV first.
Yeah.
They lost it in the post. It actually arrived bent up because they put it into a jiffy bag. Now this is a massive argument for these not being an online exclusive. Steelbooks are tending to be an online exclusive. Now Play.com...
Yeah, but most people have got a good sense to put them in a box.
Well, you'd think. Play.com, of course, had the sense to introduce
they had their thing. That was a wonderful
just
idea.
before they stopped doing retailing themselves and turned into a marketplace.
It's a shame, because they really were leading the way when it comes to...
Now this is where...
box sets. Actually, you know what? Most of my steelbooks were bought from Play. Because Play did really good deals.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing. There's Shaun of the Dead and Serenity there, and Ghostbusters originally were Play.com exclusives, and they were low-cost ones, which was amazing when you realised that he embossed them. Yeah. Which is quite nice. But having a quick look at the other steelbook, this one, Men in Black Trilogy, it's quite an interesting one because it's almost a plain steelbook with just the debossing and embossing effect on them, and then you've got the spot colour on that, so that's quite a nice thing. You've got the 3 discs in there and the download code, which is quite a decent thing. Again, no extraneous stuff on the box because it was all on the J card that had sense. Okay. Now, your normal steelbooks. This is the main thing that's collected by steelbooks collectors is your single film things. Okay. This is possibly one of the most disappointing ones I've ever had. That's in a... I've actually... Because with steelbooks you want to protect them a little bit, so I've got these sort of like almost solid ones for films that get watched more often, and the more plastic, the more sort of like filmy plastic things for ones that are...
Actually, I prefer these sleeves. I like those sleeves.
That tends to be very similar to the kind of thing you get around games that are steelbooks at retail. But these change hands for silly money as well. But again, you've got the problem was that it had a J card on it, yet you've still got all of this gubbins all over it.
Again, you see, this is where me and you tend to disagree on these things. You like all that information to be on a J card.
Yeah.
I like the artwork to be on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with them printing all that information on the case, but only if the steelbook case is the same price as instead don't release a plastic version, just release a steelbook. You can print that information on it if that's the only version you're going to do. If you are going to do a collector's thing, do a bloody collector's thing. Have artwork on the back, release the information on J-code. Same as I said with you for the Doctor Who. Yeah, I have no problem at all with them doing that on the boxes. If it's the only version they're going to do. If they're going to do multiple options, it's pointless. It's ruining the aesthetics. And what's the let's face it, what is the other reason for buying the steelbook version? There is no reason other than the person wants a nicer looking box.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's a nicer thing to own. Amazing Spider-Man here. This is, again, it was a HMV exclusive. It's what I would call a standard steelbook because it's just shiny. They haven't done anything particularly special to it.
I don't know. You say that because obviously it hasn't got any embossing or the rest. I like the metallic look.
Yeah, I mean you're going to get that with the steelbook anyway, unless you specifically make sure it isn't.
It's one of the matte versions.
It's going to be metallic. Now that is really quite a nice steelbook. Even though they haven't done anything extra to it.
See, I'm surprised. Now I realise there is obviously a cost issue in this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that all Blu-rays aren't released like it. To be fair.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing.
I mean, are they really that much more expensive to produce?
No, they're not. This is the thing. Is that I mean, Amazing Spider-Man, for instance, I think it was a £2 difference between the standard and the steelbook.
So here's an idea: scrap the plastic version, charge everybody 50p or a pound.
That's what I would argue. To be honest with you, you know, this at the end of the
day. And apart from anything else, they could come up with a slightly slimmer version.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there are a few collectors out there who actually prefer the plastic cases to steelbooks.
What's their argument? Not that I've got an issue with it. I'm just curious.
Probably because they can get dented more than anything. It's a longevity
thing. Yeah, but
thing.
you can shatter the plastic.
Exactly. So it's.
I thought the argument there would be you'd scratch off the paint.
Well, there is that possibility as well. But this is the thing: is if they're a collector's item, you're going to look after them.
More or less.
So you know that doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. We'll quickly skip over some of these other ones here. One thing you should never do when you're doing a steelbook is have it this way round, because it looks daft.
No, you see, I like it.
It's really nice.
It looks pretty.
Really, really nice. Bit of work done on them.
Yeah.
But don't they look silly compared with the others?
No.
You're alright with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Okay. Absolutely fine. I'll tell you why. Because when they're on the shelf, this and this, alright, granted I need to have it that way around. Yeah. It's only when you pull it off the shelf, and if you're pulling it off the shelf to look at it or to play it, then, I mean, let's face it, how often have I gone, oh, look at the artwork for this?
Yeah.
Right? Does it matter which way round the
Well, a lot of people like to display them face up, at least for a while.
At least for yeah, but silence. It's not. I have
a lot of people have argued that they don't like this whole. They should all be uniform kind of thing. So that's one thing that for perhaps the steelbook collectors rather than the film collectors.
Yeah, I think that's purely personal preference. It certainly wouldn't stop me buying one.
But having said that, the Shaun of the Dead one particularly is really, really nice. I mean, although I would prefer it the other way around, that's really, really nice. I mean, you've got embossing there, and you've got a decent bit of artwork on the back.
Yeah, and on the inside.
And on the inside, yeah. I mean, this is quite cool. Though I'm a little annoyed they haven't done anything under the disc there, but that's still nice enough.
Actually, I tell you what I really like. I really like when they do the artwork on the disc expanded out on the back.
That's always quite cool. Ghostbusters is a really, really nice from an artwork point of view. They haven't done anything embossing or any special features on.
I'm surprised they didn't actually emboss the logo.
Yeah, but if you pop that over, that artwork on the back's quite nice.
Oh, it's stunning.
Considering this was way after the release of the movie on Blu-ray, this was a very nice touch.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll put some photos of some of these at the end of the video. I mean, it's quite a basic steelbook, but that artwork alone has made it, you know, worth having just for that. Disc has got the ghost on it. And then you've got the guys, I don't know if you can see that on the camera very well, but you've got the guys in there just faded out. That's a nice touch.
The only steelbook I purchased without seeing it, the moment it's like they're doing a steelbook for Ghostbusters, I say, I'll have one of those.
Quite.
The only film I've ever done that with as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's one of those films I still have a passion for. All these years on, still have a passion.
Now, Shaun of the Dead, Serenity and Ghostbusters are all pretty much still available at retail online because they're not in any stores anywhere. And they're certainly worth picking up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Quick look at Bond, Skyfall. This is quite a nice one with the Aston Martin on the back.
Yes.
Which,
I mean, aside from the film and all the rest of it, it's just a really great iconic piece.
Yeah, absolutely. Now in here you've got the Blu-ray, you've got the DVD, the digital copy as well. There's a digital download code as well as the digital copy on the DVD, which is and that's really quite nice inside it. Bit of artwork there. But that's another important thing is having the DVD copy. This is something that will, in the long run, aid the take-up of Blu-rays. If you put the DVD copy in there, DVD buyers might actually consider it. So
well, it makes sense. It genuinely makes sense.
And just before Skyfall came out, Play.com again, before they turned into just a marketplace, did the GoldenEye one, which is quite nice. Again, this was a budget steelbook, so it was only about £11. But look at that artwork.
Stunning.
Really nice. Based on the original poster, the GoldenEye logo is embossed in, which is really nice. Gold effect on the back against the black. Makes sense.
See, this is it with the steelbooks, you can do a lot more with the artwork.
And even though it was a budget release, Blu-ray, DVD, and there's Brosnan. Really, really nicely done. So I was really, really impressed with that when it turned up. I was really, considering it was only £11, that's a great buy. And if you can find a copy of it, get it. But from a collector's point of view, everything I've shown you so far pales a little bit to what HMV did with at least 2 of the Marvel film releases recently.
Yes.
Now, these are items that scream collectors, scream go into a physical retailer and buy these, don't buy them online, because you will never ever be able to appreciate what these are like unless you've seen them in the flesh.
True.
Just looking at the pictures online just does not give you any feel of how lovely these boxes are. Well, I'll have a look. We'll go through Thor first. You've got money on the back. money on the back, which is metallic, really nice piece of artwork. But the front is absolutely stunning.
It is.
It's debossed down around the edge. You've got the Thor logos embossed back up, and you've got a matte.
It's matte with
and then they've spot coloured out Thor himself in gloss, and it's just gorgeous. Now,
they pulled out all the tricks.
Pulled out all the tricks with that. That was in HMV. Now, bearing in mind, HMV is not the cheapest place on the high street to buy anything.
No.
Well, at the time, wasn't the cheapest place to buy anything. It's now the only place on the high street to buy anything like this, because everybody else seems to be disappearing. Blockbuster now going as well. And this is just gorgeous. and they didn't charge a huge amount of money for it. It was £18, I think, at launch.
And the
£20
standard
afterwards.
version was
The standard
15.
standard version was, I think, £1 less in HMV. So that's really, really good value as far as I'm concerned. Considering the RRP on Blu-rays is supposed to be 25 to 30 quid.
Yeah, do you know anybody that
nobody
charges
other place,
that?
yeah, nobody was going to do that. And then you've got the artwork of the main characters inside, which is just really, really nice. Now, that is so nice, and so few people picked up on quite how nice box set this was, that they didn't rush out to HMV and buy the stock. The collectors didn't. So as a result, it's gone through the roof.
About 100 quid a copy?
Over £100.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's got the DVD, it's got the Blu-ray. And then from Thor, you've got another HMV exclusive, which is Captain America. On the back, they've picked out Steve using silk screening, so he's got that extra element to him, different from the background. Debossed, embossed Captain America logo, nice shiny steelbook. On the inside, again, you've got the Blu-ray, you've got the DVD, both loaded with extras. You've got the original artwork, and look, another download code, and again, more artwork. It's just like Thor, that is a collector's item. Completely. Again, easily topping
Just a shame they did the...
Yeah. But again, this is the thing, is that it's not quite so bad in this case, because if you're a Blu-ray collector, you ain't going to get the
You're not going to get the DVD out.
very often.
It's true.
Maybe you're going to lend it to your kids to play upstairs or something like that. That's about it. So that's really, really nice. And again, HMV did not take the mick with that. Price-wise, used it as a reason to go and buy it from them rather than anybody else. Which worked.
Now you see,
at the time.
that is something that, you know, it happens a lot in America. With the packaging variances, which can be frustrating at times because you want every version. But it makes far more sense to me to do 3 or 4 retailers having different versions of the box and having different versions of the damn film. With, oh, you can only see with such and such.
So HMV kind of became, you know, the go-to place for a little while before they went under, unfortunately. During that hideous period when we lost Comet, Game tried to go under, HMV went under, and Blockbuster went under for the first time, all almost on top of each other, which is horrible, horrible. And when I was working at Geek-station in the middle of it, I can tell you it is not a lovely thing to be dealing with. Especially when, legally speaking, you can't do things like honour a gift card until it's been okayed with the liquidators and all this kind of stuff. And it's the retail, it's the people working on the shop floor that gets it. So this is the thing, is HMV put the funding in, put the work in to get these done. And use them as a reason to go and buy the films from them rather than buying them from anywhere else. And they worked to a degree. Unfortunately, HMV made some other silly errors in the way they were running the company, which resulted in them going into the situation they were in. But then, you know, how many other retailers went in the same way? HMV have now come back out the other side of that and are now growing again and doing really, really well, because they've realised that at the end of the day, not everybody wants to buy online, and it's specifically things like this that you cannot appreciate until you go into a store and see them, or see them in a friend's collection, that will save that kind of retailer. I think, to be honest, HMV certainly have a little bit more to them than perhaps some of the other retailers now, because they do CDs,
they do exclusives
DVDs,
and specials,
Blu-ray, games, and so on and so forth. And they are concentrating on the media now. They're not trying to do all the technology and the tablets and all that kind of stuff that got them into trouble. There are collecting choices out there. I just hope that more film producers realise that the Blu-ray versions of movies are aimed at collectors, and you're more likely to sell a decent, well-done steelbook to a collector than you are a plastic cased Blu-ray, especially on films that are specifically collectible. And that would also give more of an incentive than to buy the DVD version. So say the DVD version of Thor was available for, I think it was about £12 or £14 at the time, and the steelbook, which had the DVD and the Blu-ray in, was about 18. boosted the sales of the Blu-ray quite a bit, because that's a much nicer case, and if you're just going to go and buy the DVD version,
you'd still
probably go for that for the extra £4 or whatever it was. Even though after the first release week it went up to £20, it's still worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Current Blu-ray steelbooks that are coming out at £25 and more, that's pushing it, frankly. And interesting, Zavvi are actually doing steelbooks of these two again, but they're the plain steelbooks using the original poster artwork, so they're not actually all that special. Which is a bit of a shame, which is why these are still retaining the value they've got.
Yeah, but that's a collector's thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Collectors will always go for the packaging.
But surely Blu-ray's already a collector's item anyway. Yeah. So
now, you see, again, you argue superior format. I agree, superior format. You say collectors, but you say collectors because you're into games and you're into geek and all the rest of it. I say no, not collectors, enthusiasts.
Yeah.
People who are into their movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are not collecting the Blu-ray, they're getting the best quality version of their film. Is there anything you want to add about the collection?
It's just a case of, guys, if you have the option to get a steelbook and you've never had one before, grab it, see what you think. Because for me, it adds to the collectability and the tangibility and the tactile ownership of the film.
You see, you know, I feel that way about comics.
Yeah.
And graphic literature.
Yeah.
It's never hugely bothered me in this format.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Back in the days of Laserdisc, I couldn't care.
Yeah.
I wanted the disc, didn't really care about the packaging.
But
which is ironic because with
Yeah.
figures, I'm completely the other way. I have to have all the packaging variants. Yeah. It doesn't bother me with the films. Unlike, I mean, this is a prime example, the Serenity one. Yeah, still in its cellophane, and it's still in its cellophane because I've seen this film loads of times. But I bought the Blu-ray because you told me that it was on special and play on the day, and I got it because gorgeous artwork.
Yeah.
Gorgeous artwork on a film that I care about.
Yeah.
So I purchased it. I just haven't got around to seeing it.
Steelbooks are certainly worth getting if it's something that matters.
Yeah.
Like on the last video with Next Gen.
Yeah.
That makes an awful lot of sense. Some of these films make an awful lot of sense. I'm not sure I'm too bothered with things like Men in Black, but when I got that, it was the same price as getting all three films as and a normal Blu-ray box set, so it makes sense.
See, these to me make more sense. Blu-rays make, the steelbooks make more sense to me as a protective packaging, and slightly more environmentally friendly. I would have thought.
Yeah, with recyclable more.
Yeah, because they still use plastic. They just use slightly less plastic, but they use metal.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, on the one hand, I kind of think they probably are more environmentally friendly, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd actually need to see a breakdown of the statistics. But I think that it gives extra longevity to the cases, and I'm all for anything that will protect my discs for longer.
Yeah.
It's all good. I do think they could do with making them slightly thinner, just because my bookshelf's already starting to. It's a factor, and it's certainly a factor.
But I think what the film companies have got to realise is that a well done steelbook as a collector's item, aimed at not too much more than the standard edition. Yeah. Will get you more sales. It doesn't not even convert people from the normal plastic one to the steelbook. I think it grabs more attention to the release of the film in the first place on disc.
Well, you know what I think? Well, no, you don't know. So I'll tell you what I think. What I think they should really do is exactly what they did there. Put the Blu-ray, put the DVD, put the digicode. You got all three in one go.
Yeah.
Charge £2 more than you would the DVD, £2 less than you would for the normal Blu-ray. So you meet in between the middle, just do the triple packs. Be done with it. Forget marketing Blu-rays, forget marketing DVDs, just market the triple plays, all in one go. Find wherever the I tell you what, let's use an astronomical term. Go for whatever the Goldilocks price is. Just do that across the board. Yeah. And then If they want to be really flush about it, do a collector's edition. And in the collector's edition, you put a couple of postcards in the box, do that box embossed, or do that box in a different colour with a special item.
I mean, I would say at this stage, we're in a situation where retailers, physical retailers especially, need to fight back.
Yeah.
Now, what they should be doing and what the film companies should be supporting them in doing is, yes, you can get the digital download fine. Even in high def you can get the digital download. But to make this an event to go and purchase, you, as you say, put the digital download code, put the DVD, put the Blu-ray in the box, make it a really nice box for the initial release. Do it at a reasonable price of, as long as it's under £20, I think that's fair.
Actually, I would have said 14.
Well, yeah, but the costs of things,
14, 15,
it's fair enough.
Because don't forget, you're on about killing DVD.
Yeah.
Still doing the production, because let's face it, DVD costs are
Yeah.
But they're going to save a lot on the packaging.
But say, if you've got the option of you get this as a download or you buy this at launch day, and then you don't have anything else as an option, I've got a feeling you'd sell more units.
You probably... Actually, you know what they could do? Don't get me wrong, I think Disney have lots of bad points.
Yeah.
They have lots of good points too. Do what they did with the Muppets. Standard version. Collector's edition has the soundtrack in it.
Yeah.
Because how many films have you gone, oh, you know what, the soundtrack would be kind of cool for that?
Exactly.
Yeah, and not all films, they don't release the soundtrack for all films. So sometimes there's a track in there and you want to go track it down.
Yeah.
Whilst the internet is getting very useful at things, you know, sometimes music just disappears.
Yeah.
It's used in a film and you can't get it anywhere else. So it'd be kind of nice if they could do that. And you know what they could do if they wanted to save money? They didn't want to actually produce the disc. Why not do that as the digital download? The digital download, your special thing for your special feature is that you get the music. And that way, if you're that bothered, like I would be bothered, because I'd download it and go, oh God, I'm going to lose it. That you can burn to disc and throw in the box.
Yeah.
That'd be
pretty cool.
Anyway, this video has been a long one, which is kind of bad because we were trying to make some shorter ones. But it's an interesting topic, and me and you found out that we can talk about this for a damn long time in the pub. Is there anything that probably very bored viewers need to know?
No, not really. Just
okay. Follow us all in all the usual places, which is YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and something else I'm sure they'll have invented by the time this goes out. Feel free to leave us any comments. You know what, we would love to hear some other people's opinions. You know, if you're pro DVD, hell, we're open to it. Give us the argument, we'd like to hear it. If you're pro DVD, Blu-ray even, give us that one, we'll hear that. If you like my idea of the triple play, let's go with that.
Because at the end of the day, 6 months later, they'll put out the single disc version of the DVD and single disc version of the Blu-ray at a reduced price to put through the supermarkets anyway.
There you go. There was option available. Our next review is going to be exciting because apart from anything else, for our loyal viewers, it'll be short. We're coming up to Christmas, so I want to do a game review. Okay. We don't often, but
not a video game.
Not a video game. Let's go old school. Let's do a proper game review.
Okay.
Cool. Alright. So, thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. Have a good week.
Bye.
Did I swear?
Yes.
Just bleep it, it's fine. And leave this bit in, that's fine too.
So let's have a look at this.
See, this is the trouble when we do this stuff unscripted.
Yeah.
Go on.